6 months before, I started talking to people, taking certifications that are required. Just sending out the resumes and having the small chats with the people that, who are in that industry. And actually got an interview around March and got the offer. But unfortunately, after 1 month, they were unable to move forward because of sponsorship, which was a shock because I was all ready and, okay, I got a job, stuff like that. But I had to, react and prepare well. So then I thought, okay, I know I want to get into PeopleSoft. And then I got a specific training in PeopleSoft. And then I started to prepare my resume in core areas of PeopleSoft, like HR, finance, and supply chain. And it's all about relationships, right? I got a reference from whom which I spoke like 3-4 months ago about the job. So one, probably I again reached out to them just saying, hey, I'm back. I did that. I just tried to update him with what I have done from last 2 months. And he was like, hey, there might be a job which is opening whom I know, but it is a contracting role, and then I went to that, and that was a short contract. It was good. And again, I got into market. So it's a similar thing where somebody else again recommended me to a role, and I went there, and it's also started to be a small contract. The next thing I know, after 8 years, is I led multiple teams in the same project. It was a big healthcare ERP transformation project led by one of the big companies in the consulting world. It started as a developer, worked. It was huge project, and it was very demanding. I was delivering as expected, and the next thing I know, I was leading projects. And even recently, I went back to help them out on being the subject matter expertise in the area that I worked on, as a consultant. So, it's the relationships that will, that will give you the paths. So, forming those relationships early and keeping them open. I mean, you can't expect every talk that you are making with anyone that you're connecting resulting to something. You're just chatting, you're building networks. So don't expect anything. So that's how I got the referrals for people who I spoke with way back. And I spoke with multiple people, like probably 50 to 60 people. Not everyone gave me a job, but at least, you are still in touch. And, you don't know. Right. It's like having a relationship, right? Your friends or anything. So I think that's a huge part.
And I want to add to that and say that I mentioned earlier on this call that 3 of the guys who've been part of this movement have gotten interviews next week, actually. And that's just it. They, through relationship, and I was able to help connect them with someone who I'm connected with who has a need for their skill set. And through those relationships, they now have interviews. Relationships, guys, are extremely important. And getting to that first job, that next job, they will be instrumental. And I always tell people, never burn bridges. So sometimes someone may connect with you and it doesn't work out. Thank them for their time. Maintain a relationship. It could mean just a message once every 6 months. I mean, as a matter of fact, T and I haven't spoken all the time. We connected a couple of years ago at when he was speaking a keynote at a conference. And I think James was there as well. And we kept in touch, maybe once every few months, just a couple of messages on LinkedIn. And eventually, when I pitched this vision to him, he was, willing to jump on board and add some value. So again, please manage and leverage those relationships. I mentioned certifications. Now, I know many of us might be thinking, okay, when you're a student, you don't have much money. So how did you navigate that challenge of certifications before you graduated? And I know when you graduate, companies pay for them, but before you had your first, how did you get those initial ones?
Initial certifications. So basically, I mean, one big thing I believe in even now is investing in yourself, right? I mean, maybe if it is cutting down, that extra restaurant party or going out for that weekend or 2 weekends or 3 weekends, it's worth the money that you're investing yourself. Especially times like these as a business, leading a business now, we are investing a lot in ourselves, in our employees. Maybe not every chat will not be turning out to be a customer now. It's the same concept, right? I mean, you're investing in yourself. Maybe if it's hard, now they're, a lot of companies are also doing a lot of giving back to the community. They're running promotions. They have coupons which will cut down the certifications. Even for Microsoft or Salesforce and Oracle certifications, you're like looking at $100 or $200. A lot of help from the communities, especially for students. They are even offering for free. If you're a registered student, and even trainings are being offered for free, especially Salesforce ecosystem. They really revolutionized, how companies work. And there's this quote from Mark Benioff, who's co-founder of Salesforce. Companies can do a lot more than just doing business. They can give back. So we believe in that as a company, as a small company, and that resonated with a lot of tech giants too. So they are willing to offer help. So definitely, we had to cut down that extra fund, and as you're graduating, invest in yourself, and I think that will help.
Love it, man. And one of the things, those of you who follow me on Instagram, my tagline is the Warren Buffett of people. And my thing is, I invest heavily in people. I invest in people. And the best investment I think any human being can make is in themselves, right? Bet on yourself. Go all in on yourself. I like what he said. Make some sacrifices, cut in some areas so you could invest in yourself. And some folks say it this way. They say, sow where you want to grow. I think it's extremely important.